Obviously, like I said, we got Kita out, but that's all right. The rest of the party's here, and like I said, one session out, especially here at the beginning, it's all good. So we won't do too much wild stuff without her. So.
Oh.
All right, so you all here are kind of at the tail end of the conversation with supposedly Dr. Tutori. I introduced himself to you as Edgar Tutori here, as he just kindly addresses a lot of your different questions. Brought up a very interesting, seemingly odd sound in the back of both Kita and Ferris's minds, and seems to be beginning to starting to seems to be next steps here, as he just reaches out to you all. You all seem to have quite the dynamic already. I don't suppose that you all would be up for a bit of a quest, as it were, as he gives a slight smirk.
Do we get paid?
Oh, I would just, well. Oh.
Of course
Is
not, have
the
you seen
honor that you
economy
gain
around
not
here?
good enough?
The
Hey,
hell is that?
it's gotten better. Trust me, you do not want to have seen it 100 years ago. It was nothing like it is today. But anyways, I'm sure that we could provide you
Oh, I
some...
know.
I'm sure we could provide you some compensation.
All right, talk numbers.
Alrighty. Well, I will certainly be able to provide you all with, well, a sum of money in addition to, well, a bit of a fine kind of currency that's found around here. So, I'm sure that perhaps some of you are familiar with elemental gems, yes?
Oh, yes, of course.
Well,
Pardon the country bumpkin, but
No, I don't believe we need to.
hey. What kind of question do you have?
elemental gems.
Ah, yes. Well, despite their,
I've been living under a rock for the past few decades.
all is well. And I know that the people up in the mountains tend not to deal as much with all the things down here as, what did they call them? Lowlanders? Yes. I always thought it was a fun colloquialism.
Airsick lowlanders, yeah.
Indeed. But I'll give you the quick rundown. Essentially, the elemental power, which you all, I'm sure, have seen plenty of in your travels here, is culminated into a gem like this, as he takes out what seems to be some sort of... You're not really sure at first, Ferris, but it seems to be some sort of fiery essence, like almost like someone took like some sort of fire spell and put it inside of this glass-looking gem.
Well, now that right there's a spark of beauty, isn't it?
It certainly is. And there's one to be found of each element. Now, the things that make up these gems were something of a mystery when they first came about, and, well, after a couple centuries worth of work by quite a few folk that are very interested in them, they've figured out a bit more about these gems, and more importantly, around the world now, there seems to be more of this essence coming together, but piecewise, as it were. You see, as he takes another piece out of his pocket, and what seems to be a piece of one of these gems. Gem shards, as it were. Yes, these are interesting for two reasons. One, you can turn them into gems, and two, because of that reason, they also sell for a decent amount. So really, it's up to you whether you would rather harness the power of the elements, or perhaps use that money for some other needs.
Oh, money is no object these days. It's all about the innate proclivities of these gems that interest me the most.
I'm glad you feel that way, but perhaps not everybody will. After all, you can't exactly make potions out of elemental gems. At least not yet. So, I'm certain you'll find some of these on your travels in addition to the reward that we can provide you all. And let's see, how many of you are there? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wonderful. I think we could definitely compensate, let's say 100 gold and 4 shards for each. I'm sure that can be afforded.
That
Could
sounds
you
like
say
a
how much
lot.
that was again?
100 gold and 4 shards per person.
Oh, well, I mean, depending on the quest, we haven't even heard the offer. How could we possibly ask for any particular fiscal amount without your prescription of what we need?
I found that there's been many in my travels that like to hear the reward up front to determine how much they want to listen to the quest.
Well,
I'm
this is a
listening,
good
but,
starting offer, but, you know, always a higher ceiling, I always say.
Also, how many shards does it take to make a gem?
Well, nowadays it would take about, 4.
Convenient number.
Indeed, that's why I figured you might like it.
All right, hold on. Some of you guys might be ready to go adventuring, but I turn out my pockets. I got nothing on me. I'm gonna need some provisions, if you know what I'm saying. Can you give me a gun?
Ah!
Gilgamesh laughs.
I certainly think this is something we could provide, as he looks over to one of the scientists. I'm sure that you have a couple things that we've procured from the seafaring expedition, do you not? As he takes out, looks to be a couple things out of the back corner of the wall. Well, sir, I mean, we do have this pistol that we've tuned a bit. Is this what you're talking about? Yes, indeed.
Oh, you're giving.
As he clicks back the firing mechanism. This may look.
I step back and hold. Grip my guitar closely.
This may look familiar to you. However, as he points it towards the wall and fires, you all can go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Oh, great. Off to a great
Woo!
start here tonight.
Okay.
Okay.
Ignore the +3, but
But not the
Besides
natural
that.
20.
yes, the natural 20 is legit. It's not.
Dang.
Where do I have Bardic? Oh, there you are. Okay, turn you on.
Oh, darling, I need a perception check from you as well, from Callisto. Did she step away? Did I realize that?
I think she said that she needed to go get her work laptop.
Oh, rats, that's right.
All rats, darn. No, all rats and no cats.
Oh, not to worry, I'll roll for it. I forgot she had to go back for that.
I'm silly, but I'm not here.
No, I know, but you can't roll, so I'll roll for you.
She's here in spirit.
Yeah, I'm here in spirit. I
Yeah,
gotta go get my top
I know, baby. Let's see.
crying.
Horizontal spinning red.
We had 11:59 now, so I kind of have to get them in.
Go and do this.
I have half of them. Well, I have 2/5 of them in, so close to half.
We'll go ahead and roll perception.
I love the Halo 3 rat. Oh,
As you all look and see his fire mechanism, Callisto, with the nat 1, you immediately just don't even know what happened. It's such a loud noise. You panic a little bit and just step back. Your tail fluffs up a bit.
oh no.
I blame the DM for the shitty roll.
Yeah, I think we can agree.
All right, hold on. All
Not
right.
one for the. What the hell?
So the rest of you look on and just see this thing fire. And Pat, I go ahead and have you roll me an Arcana check.
An Arcana check.
Oh boy.
I ain't no shit.
All right. So you all see this thing fire, this small just blaze of flame, and Pat, you look at it, and that certainly seems strangely familiar as you think back to some of the different contraptions they used to have back in the day when you were on the ship. You're not really sure how it didn't leave any casing behind, though. Most of these things, either at the wall or out of the firing mechanism, leave something.
I'll take that, if you don't mind.
As he
Lord.
As he points it down, Wanbury, you notice as he fires it that this seems to be an enhanced version of this pistol that actually seems to be casting firebolt as opposed to traditional firing.
So there's no physical projectile.
That's right.
But
And that 20
I would
meant
say
you didn't have to
bolt of
roll on.
fire
It
is
can't hurt.
physical.
Say what?
I would say a bolt of fire is quite physical, especially when you're on the other end.
You have a sharp mind.
Nothing that a counter spell could ease.
Certainly, but I mean, are you really going to use a counterspell on firebolt?
And then I get to shoot again.
He's gonna
This
keep
thing.
a stern expression.
And this is why Pat has the understanding of this thing. Now, you'll be careful with this, won't you? As he starts to hand it to you.
Huh? Yeah. Of course.
As he
Stick it in
smiles.
my pocket.
He smiles. How do you stick it in your pocket? Do you have like a holster or something for it, or?
Pointed straight. at
I
the
choose the biggest, most holstery pocket that I have currently.
dick. Just in the waistband, pointed straight at the dick.
Mhm.
That's the only way.
The front mount, no. as he looks to you and smiles. Oh, it seems you haven't lost your supposed training you've probably had with one of these.
I fiddled with a few older models, I would say. Nothing quite as fancy as that. I'm gonna have to take a look at this one later.
Well, I certainly hope you enjoy it. Just don't mess with it too much. The enchantment might go off, and then, well, you're going to have to figure out something to load it with.
That sounds like a fun challenge, as it were.
You're a very interesting man. Of course, all of you are in your own different rights. Now, speaking of interesting, I suppose it now might be time for me to divulge a little quest that I'm willing to pay you all for. I'm sure that you all are familiar enough with the 6 zones of Converga. Are you not?
Traveled a
Yes,
couple
of
of them.
course.
I saw a map since I've been here.
Indeed. Are any of you perhaps not as familiar? There's no shame in that, but I just want to make sure before I start to explain this here.
Familiar in the books and tales, but maybe not in experience, unfortunately.
Well then I'll make sure to throw in a few pointers here as we get to this divulging here. So, you all have clearly seen that there's a bit of an issue here. After all, this mechanism wasn't exactly supposed to be the main event as far as trying to take you all down. And so, what I'd like for you all to do is report it to arguably the highest authority that we have here in Converga nowadays. The authority you'll be reporting to is none other than the Council of the Light Zone.
Oh, rats.
And what makes you say that?
Those old worry words always go in and mingle in with my... Well, they're just nosy. I'll leave it at that.
Well,
So those are the kings of this place? This whole joint?
King is a little strong of a wording.
I would have to agree. King is,
Reserved for folks such as I, and he gets a curtsy bow.
I've seen quite a few kings in my time. Now, Gilgamesh, you may be the first of them that, perhaps is, not quite as in the crosshairs, as it were.
Yes.
Anyways, so, the Light Zone Council, back quite a while ago, served as the governing body for the Light Zone. Now, this was to ensure that the Light Zone, as they said, stayed pure, as it were.
Yeah, that's what they believe in.
Well, for what it's worth, Klavikari, Klavikari, and the teachings of the light tend to greatly value things such as purity of mind, body, spirit, etc.
Gilgamesh is mouthing it in like a mocking tone as you are saying that.
Unfortunately, perhaps the people of the Light Zone took it a bit too far in some respects, and sadly resulted in not only the destruction of their own council by some inner working problems that had gone on for, well, centuries really, but also, unfortunately, it resulted in the destruction of Klavikari herself.
Good.
It's certainly not a great thing to remember, but remember it nonetheless. So the people of the Light Zone, after that event, and, well, the heroism that was shown by round 3, were able to reconcile this idealist position a bit, and, well, with all of the peacetime that was found after their exploits, and pushing back Blasteel, and some of the other gods as well, the Light Zone has actually, well, unthinkably so, opened up their gates, as the other zones do.
Real quick, Ashiel kind of like raises her hand a bit.
Yes, what do you have, Ashiel?
What exactly is a round 3?
Ah, yes. I'm sorry I speak so fondly of them because, well, it does feel so fond. Round 3 was,
I thought they were a myth.
that...
Sounds like a bar.
I've heard the stories, but too large to be life.
Perhaps that's a bit of the idea. After all, round 3 was, oh, a group similar to yours, actually. A group of people that found a greater purpose in something. They, have quite the tales, and as you've said, you've heard quite a few of them. The Light Zone was only one of their many exploits, having to go to the end of each zone, having to fight the champion of each of the elemental deities, and ultimately having to push back a greater deity. All the while fighting off many different things, such as, the Forge Lords of Blasteel, in addition to some other nasty things. Everything from cults to chaos as far as the eye could see.
Interesting. Are any of them still alive?
As he tilts his head. Oh, I know of a few that still are.
You know them then?
Oh, indeed, indeed. Like I said, bit of a similar fateful encounter that you all had. Though back in the day I was much more of a storyteller than I was well, as much as the position I'm in here. More of a active role towards more peacetime here. After all, it lets me sit back and tell more stories as opposed to having to take an active role.
Well, someday you're gonna have to tell me that story.
Indeed I shall. And I certainly have no trouble with telling them. As he continues to just ponder a little bit. Yes. Oh, I have a feeling that you all, if you're that interested, you may even run into some of these legends on your travels. Quite interesting, a lot of them. If you were to meet any, really. I think that it would be quite the experience. And I have a feeling with all of these different happenings as of late, it's quite possible that some of them may take up the mantle for... take up the mantle of a hero once more. If only to help but a bit. After all, they've more than earned their rest, in one form or another.
So they're retired and don't want to help? Or they're retired and dead? Or old?
Depends on who you're talking about. There's quite a few that I know have probably passed on. Not because they weren't legendary heroes, but because time, unfortunately, doesn't care if you were a legendary hero or simply a scientist such as myself.
And most of you die to time? Sounds like a cruel person. Is that who we should be defeating?
Well, only the unlucky few of us. Gilgamesh gives a slight eye twitch.
Luckily,
Is Gilgamesh look older or like middle-aged or young?
He's about middle-aged. Maybe I think I put 30 something.
Okay.
Hold up.
Wait, how long do hobgoblins live?
About the same age as regular humans, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I need to
Are you
double check.
calling me almost middle age?
Almost middle age. 30. Yeah, he's 30 exact.
Damn.
Fuck you.
Well,
He doesn't have
almost.
modern medicine, okay, guys?
Yeah,
Listen, he's been a
got
king.
that.
He has to manage these countries. It ages a man.
It does. It truly
Yeah,
does.
like
being a
That's why-
manager does age a man. Yes.
yes. Indeed.
Yeah, so they do have a similar lifespan to humans.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. At least the version of Hobgoblin that I'm using. The non-Fey version of Hobgoblin.
Right.
I don't know. Wombury, how... do you know how old you are? I've quite lost track.
Wombury.
Nicholas, that was directed at you if you remember your character's name.
it did not go through.
Oh.
I heard her.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
I
my
see
brain
you're,
turned off for a second.
I see you're developing a husband selective hearing already.
I'm working on it.
Only a couple short weeks after the wedding. Shame.
That's the reward for going through it.
God damn.
Oh, 1 second there.
Anyways, Ashiel asked if you remember how old you are, because she says she's lost track.
Oh, I have absolutely no idea. That
Wait a
people don't die of old age. It's kind of an irrelevant thing.
minute. Whom? You don't die of old age. How do you...
I've never seen it.
how
Although I have
how
seen
does
some
that
interesting
happen?
magic that has someone just like age in front of you to death.
Oh,
That's
yes,
not, you
I've
know,
heard stories, but...
Normal aging is
You asked about a cruel person called Time. Time does
Yeah.
that. Just, it takes a lot longer. But sooner or later it will claim everyone you love.
Well, I wouldn't be so sure as Gilgamesh straightens his coat a little bit, smugly.
Oh, do you not have
I
anyone
would.
that loves you?
Well, you got him.
that's
there.
brutal.
So he's like, well, I mean, and he kind of looks to his other goblinoid subjects. He's like, well, Harold, I wouldn't say he loves me. It's a professional relationship, but no, I have a couple in my life.
I suppose that is a
They're
pretty
back in the home
good
country.
defense. If this happens to everyone that has people that love them, removing them from the equation, I suppose, is a good defense against Father Time. Although, judging by the age of this group, perhaps it's not working so well.
Well, I mean, some of us won't have to bear the toil of old age. Ideally.
You wish to die young then, or fiery death, perhaps?
Oh, no. How can you be so couth to ask for, this dying young thing? That's so drab. I wouldn't want it. Why die young when you can live forever? I mean, it seems to suit you all fairly well.
She's gonna kind of like poke some wrinkles on your face.
Yeah, keep working on that one, bud.
Well, you know what
Is
they
that just
say.
an option? Do you choose to die of old age? Is that
No,
Am I
it's not what
misunderstanding?
you choose, unfortunately. No. Well, technically, if you really have to get into the nitty-gritty of it, you don't quote-unquote die of old age. You die of different parts of your body just weighing down after too much work. So,
Alright, so we're gonna move on to happier topics now.
happier? Well,
Underst-
it's quite interesting.
Well, Gilgamesh, I'm sure that you and I can spend a yawn talking about this kind of thing. I assure you, there's certain things that do come from immortality, as it were. But I can also give you some
Is
possible...
everyone here just immortal except for us lot? And he points to me and Pats.
What?
Is
Oh,
everyone here just not able to die of old age? Is that what this is? Am I the only mortal here besides this thing? Points to Pats.
No, I'm perfectly mortal. Aging has nothing to do with mortality.
Well, functional mortality versus pure.
Now we're just arguing
immortality.
semantics.
indeed, indeed. And I would have to agree with our friend Ferris here. I think perhaps it's time to move on to slightly happier topics.
I can feel my bones creaking after that conversation. I feel like in Olden. I almost feel like I'm 18.
Oh yes, I forgot these goblinoids don't live long.
Hey, now I just had my sweet 16. Okay, it was a little while ago, but less than a year, ish.
What?
In and out in
1800
years.
years old. That's quite impressive for a human.
Amazing. Every word that just came out of your mouth was wrong.
Well, Harold over here, he's in his late age. He's 50 currently. He's almost dead.
Poor
I'd like to
Let's
look at the
not live that
expression
long.
of the individual he's pointing at.
All right. I'm not
It
getting any
is this
younger.
one. It's this one.
All right,
He's
what's
almost-
the job, mister?
Yes, indeed. Let me go ahead and spin you all just a bit here. So, you have the Light Zone Council that you need to bring this news to, and I think that it would perhaps be a bit of an adventure for you to make your way through the Light Zone, especially with it now being open to visitors. You'll have significantly less trouble than many have in the past to get in there. And perhaps you would quite enjoy the journey, actually. It's a lovely zone, really. Well, as long as you don't mind perpetual light, as it were.
Ooh, I love stories. Describe it to me. Paint me a picture.
Absolutely. Imagine this, a field where the sky is nighttime, but the ground emanates light as if it was day from below.
Ooh,
That is essentially...
like a magical aura.
That's more or less the concepts of the light zone. Klavikari's perpetual light happens to shine and permeate throughout all of the realm there. And so, as a result, the ground itself shines.
Ooh,
The light zone is also
sounds
features...
similar to my home.
Indeed, the Light Zone also features some very interesting architecture, as, well, it was actually one of the zones that was not torn apart near as much within the Convergence. It didn't have to rebuild as much, so it was able to build on top of what it had.
Lucky bastards.
Luck is
Does the
certainly...
lights- Is the light used to lure people in so that monsters can eat them?
Well, I suppose there are some that would do that. The Light Zone doesn't happen to feature very many of them anymore, though.
Well, I mean, not in the conventional monsters, more like the people type of monsters.
I think you all would have found that to be more of the old Light Zone Council's regime. After all...
No. This one.
Oh, no. You'll find that this one isn't near the degree that the last one was. As it turns out, Kavalka had managed to make his way in there, as well as, oh, a rather interesting individual that survived actually since the Convergence. A bit of a, spiritual warrior, as it were, in case any of you all have actually interacted with Kalistar.
No.
Have any of us heard of the Kalishtar?
Actually, let me think. Pat's, go ahead and roll me a history check, as well as Gilgamesh.
A history check, you said?
Yes, please.
Oh, Pats.
Amazing.
All right.
Gilgamesh is smart.
So Pat's sailing the sea. You saw many different types of individuals, but you're not really sure if you could pin one down to be this Kalistar he's talking about. Now, Gilgamesh, you think back and Well, you know for a fact that actually, a few Kalistar had interacted with your kingdom. And actually, most of them had, most of their focused presence was actually in an island across the sea, many ways away, in an island called Omeria, a holy site of theirs.
Mm-hmm. Would that have been with near Gilgamesh's, like, domain? Like, you said that was an island. Did you say across the sea?
Yes.
Is that like a sea crossing or like literally the opposite end of the zone?
No, it would have been several islands away. You would have had to take days to get
Okay.
there.
And what would they have been doing near Gilgamesh's domain?
It seems that for the most part, either patrolling or pursuing some sort of malicious individual. After all, they are more or less the guardians of a lot of the realm of which you come from.
No, those. We've had a couple of run-ins with them. Well, let's just say they were not amicably welcomed, unfortunately.
I can imagine. After all, they uphold a fairly strict code.
They keep meddling in business that's not theirs to meddle in.
Oh, certainly. I used to think that they were all rather, I guess, lawful to a fault, as it were. But I think my heart was a bit changed when I got to meet one that was a bit off the beaten path, as it were.
Quite the sight to see.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Anyways, if you all find this term of travel would be acceptable to you, I would certainly love to get you all on your way here. After all, anything that you find in your adventure towards the Light Zone Council may be exciting, exhilarating, make you itch for more. And I'm certainly willing to help with that.
Of course, that is, if we agree on a price. I mean, we got a pre-offer of 100, but as Paps had said, you only gave him a gun and no provisions. Would it not be wise for us to gain provisions as well? Just for the start, maybe not full payment, but something to help us along the way.
Yeah, how far do we gotta walk here?
Well,
Oh, God.
the Light Zone all the way across is roughly, as he begins to do a bit of math in his head, I think somewhere in the realm of, it should be about 55 miles to the capital city. And then another 10-ish to 15 within the city. Yeah, that all sounds right.
So what I'm hearing is that I'm gonna have to stock up. I'll get you my list.
Oh, wonderful. We could certainly provide you at least 3 days provision plus some extra of whatever you're wanting to make up there, as it were.
I'll see what I can do with that.
Well, yes, of course, 3 days provision for everyone, including, of course, my entourage, and, well, I think that should be good enough for now.
I'm sure we can provide for them. After all, I have a bit of a favor out with the barkeep.
Out of curiosity, you keep saying that you're king.
Well, yes.
So you're just going to abandon your people to go on an adventure?
The other goblins kind of look shyly away whenever you ask that. Well, heavens! I can't believe you would be so inconsiderate. I'm going for the betterment of my people. Our capable of bureaucracy and administration is currently keeping things ready for me. I had a personal and as well a national quest, if I may say so myself. I have to go and find, well, many great deeds. I mean, I've already conquered the world as it was, but, well, turns out there's more world out there, and, well, it's best for the wisest and greatest of kings to go out and search it. Figure out what makes it tick.
So you're telling me that you're not needed then?
No, that's not how that works. I could understand a layperson not understanding the administrative bureaucracy that my forefathers and I have set up, but let it be known that, yes, I will return, but this is more so a expedition, and with me at the head, I can see it never going wrong. He
I
says with
thought
the
you
least bit of...
conquered your country.
Hmm?
I thought you conquered your country.
Yes, but my forefathers had to set it up to where, not only did we have to get the tax base, and then plenty of different laws and legal codes to put in place. I mean, it's a real bore, but eventually I was the one who did conquer. But it took a lot of steps to get there. Lots of dead men, dead women, and dead, goblins.
Ashiel's like trying to piece together and has just decided that you're spewing bullshit and it was just like whatever.
Well, that's why. It's taken quite a bit of time. But for now, we journey. Harold! And Harold starts, I guess, still trying to figure out with the scientist everything with those, the arms shipment.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I believe it is time for us to bunk in for the night, Harold, as well as, get all provisions settled for the morning.
Not to worry, we'll get you fully set up if you'd like to spend the evening at the bar here.
Ooh, sure. I that can work. We can work something out there. We'll just need a couple hours at the room before the night, if I'm able to.
You seem dismayed by this proposition. Are you all right there, my king?
I mean, it takes a little bit of proper time to set up a room fit for a king, wouldn't you think?
Oh, indeed. But I assure you, the barkeeper and I have quite the relationship going back. I'm sure we can get you taken care of.
Of course.
Do you not just teleport back to your castle?
Teleport? Why would I do that?
To have the comforts of your castle and your servant.
Well, that's a neat idea. Unfortunately, it costs too many resources and a lot more time at my current expedition.
It's understandable being a poor king. It's a difficult life.
Yes. You wouldn't know anything about it either way.
Oh, well. The person who oversaw my land was a little prickly, teleported everywhere. Very annoying. Sometimes randomly to scare me. Rude. Just because of a whoopee cushion incident, they didn't like me. Anyways, I'm getting off the topic. What were we talking about?
Quite the jester. A fool, if you may.
Oh, it's so fun to play the fool.
Yes, it's quite lucrative too. I've known a couple of fools who have made way too much money for what they're worth.
I just stare directly at you with a blank face.
I just say that their material was quite dry, if you may.
I stare directly at Kita's face.
Just let him be king. And I pat him on the back, and I just look really sad. Like, I pity you. I pity the
Why
bull.
would you touch me? Excuse me.
Comedy!
Comedy? I didn't put you in my entourage as a fool. Unless, we could give you a couple copper a day. Probably would work out some way.
I think the position has already been filled. I'm sorry.
That is right.
We're heading to the beautiful glowing lands.
That is right. Denny the cupbearer is quite the funny jest.
All right, and as you all get to chatting here, Tutori kind of ushers you back to the inn where you shall stay the night here. And is there anything anyone is wanting to do as I figure out? Okay, there we go. It's like it's not moving. What's going on? Is there anything anyone would like to do before they go to bed here?
I'm gonna my gun. I would like to do an artificer.
Oh, excellent.
eating shot.
Oh, beautiful.
Well, it says a simple or martial weapon. Maybe the gun maybe isn't simple, but can I still upgrade it?
It's Marshall.
Okay. So,
Now, what does that enchantment read?
let me find it.
You should know that.
I should, but I haven't looked at it since I used it on you.
I'll just copy paste it in here.
I remember it was good. I don't need it.
I get +1 to damage and attack rolls.
Ox ammunition produces its own. Yep. All right. And gets the +1.
Yep, and then I assume it didn't already require ammunition. Like I can just shoot it whenever.
More or less.
Okay. So that last part technically isn't needed, but it's there. It's doubly there now.
Exactly. Let's see. However, with this enchantment on it, I will allow for you to make it instead deal piercing damage if you want to on a shot. So you'll have a choice.
So magic or piercing?
Yeah, so you can make it either fire or piercing.
Okay.
Very
Okay.
useful for when we fight fire elementals.
Exactly. So I figure I'll give you some value for dumping one of your artificer things onto it.
Hell yeah. I'll fiddle with it.
Of course, it's a magic weapon. I do believe that's also it's going to be magical piercing.
Hey.
Yeah, that's pretty good. This actually might be pretty good against certain elementals. Alrighty. And while Pats is fiddling with the gun, kind of messing around with it with his artificer tools, what are the rest of y'all doing?
Is there? This is technically character knowledge, but Ashiel was walking around earlier. Is there still a gem shop here?
There is, yes.
Ashiel will make her way over to the gem shop.
Excellent. You'd be able to make it in there for a little bit before it closes. As you walk in, is there anything specific that you're looking for?
To talk to the owner.
Wonderful. So yeah, as you
I'll be able to just follow her in as well.
I don't see why not. Would anybody else like to go to the shop alongside? Or perhaps in a different group but still going?
Sure, I'll head over there with them.
Sure. So everyone who wants to, go ahead and move your character over here.
Oh, Ashiel will not make it obvious.
Okay.
She will kind of just quietly slip off to the side, assuming that Wombrey will follow her. But she's not making a show of it, and she won't ask anyone to join her.
Well, it's fine in that case.
It's always a show, so I'll follow.
Indeed. So yeah, Wanbury and Ashio go ahead and head this way, and Ferris decides that, you know what, maybe this place will be worth a look as well.
For when I'm actually able to make any money at all.
Again, we're starting on hopefully a good foot and get better from there. Don't worry.
Well, I have 5 gold.
Well, not right now.
Oh. Is there any... Well, I guess everybody's still in the shop, yeah?
Oh, oops, I didn't make these visible. There, that might make it a little bit of a better indicator.
Ah!
Much better.
I was like, why can't they see the gem shop? It's because they're on the wrong layer. Alrighty, so yeah, let's go ahead and we'll have Ashiel, Wanbury, and Ferris in here. So Ashiel kind of taking the lead here. You walk in and you see what looks to be maybe not run down, but kind of a more basic than you were expecting gem shop. Seems to have a few different gems abound, but you see as there seems to be somebody working behind the front counter. Seems to be messing with some sort of device, and you don't really see anybody else around.
Ashiel will approach.
All right. And as you approach the counter, you just see over it just Let's see, this should go here. Sorry, as he does his head. Would you be able to give me just a moment?
Ashiel nods.
Wonderful. As he is here, and you just see as this minor flash for a second goes off. Perfect! As he just rubs his eyes. Though I gotta admit, I'm going to have a bit of issue for the next few minutes. So what can I do for you, young lady, right?
Ashiel nods.
Wonderful. What can I do for you?
She'll actually kind of discreetly pull off her necklace and gently place it on the table. Can you tell me anything about this construction of this necklace?
As he picks it up, I don't think I've ever seen such an intricately engraved fire gem before. Well, seems like it would probably have the similar kind of effects, but as he picks up a fire gem from behind the counter and puts it next to it, I would think that perhaps these runic markings, as he puts his finger towards it. Ooh, that's
Do be careful, it's hot.
I noticed. I'm used to handling these, but this one seems different, as it were. Young lady, where did you find this?
It was a gift.
A gift? A gift from whom, if you don't mind me asking?
Or a curse. I'm not really sure. Maybe both. From a very sour old woman.
I see. Our old woman. If you don't mind me asking, another follow-up question. Where did you receive this?
Not anywhere near here, that's for sure. So you don't recognize the magic then?
Well, I certainly recognize the fire gem when I see one. As I said, these runes are rather foreign to me, but they seem to amplify different parts of it. This isn't the typical, just standard housing for these things. Whoever this is that gave this to you is clearly quite well versed in this.
Yes, well, she has a lot of time on her hands.
I see. He continues to look at it, just seeming to be almost drawn in before just taking a step back. Well, are you wanting me to do something with this? Try and place into a weapon of sorts?
No, not at this time. Do you think it's possible in the future?
As he looks closer at it, I'm not sure. After all, these things are created in mind of being able to house these gems as a standard, but if these runes are, as he goes to touch it again, if these runes are as hot as they seem to be, I have a feeling that any housing we try to create might just melt.
Understandable. I was just curious, since you were supposed to be well versed in the gem.
Oh, I am quite well versed in the gems. I assure you that if you do have any other gem that you would want to make into this, I could craft you quite the fine weapons, but I don't know if I can do anything with this one. It just seems a little, well, if you don't mind me saying, a bit dangerous. Volatile as it was.
he can't see her smile, but her red eyes flare up just a little bit.
It's dangerous. That might perhaps be the correct word.
And Ashiel will gently pick it up again and fasten the clasp and tuck it away.
Was the
For the information, every little bit helps.
yes, of course. I'm glad to have been of service.
How long have you had your storm?
Well, I inherited this one, as it were. My master has gone out to the field to do some additional work with the gems, so I run it alongside a couple of other folks that live around here, and that's why we're able to do all this weapon craft pieces. But you see, he's gone to pursue something a bit more.
Your master. So there's someone with perhaps more knowledge than you.
Well, actually, probably. I'm sure that if anyone could figure it out, it might be him.
Does he come back from time to time on his adventures, or has he been gone a long time?
He's been gone for a while, but I wouldn't be surprised if he turned up at some point.
Very well. Then perhaps I will stop again in the future.
Well, excellent. You're always welcome, of course.
And Ashiel will kind of look back to see what either what mischief Wanbury has wandered into, or what anyone else is doing.
Wanbury, have you wandered into any mischief?
Lumbry is looking at the gems that I assume there's gems here.
Yes.
And he's just like having replicas of them appear in front of him and just kind of playing with making them look exactly the same for no particular reason.
Alrighty. So yeah, as you mess around with that, just trying to get the points right. The first one you make is kind of a little more crumpled looking than the other one, but you continue to work at it. And Ashiel, as you kind of begin to turn away here, Ferris, what are you doing?
Oh, he's just scanning.
All right.
He doesn't have any money, but you know he might soon. So he's looking for prices and seeing, like, is there anyone working on gems in the shop?
Aside from the one that's behind the front counter, there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of activity right now, but you figure it's maybe because it's a little late in the day, too.
Okay. Yeah, no, he's easygoing.
All right. So
Window shopping.
yeah, Ashiel, you turn and you see Ferris just kind of looking through a couple of the shelves here.
Yeah, I mean, Ashiel's not really. She got what information she could. She'll head back to the bar to find a room for the night.
Ferris, you kind of peek outside of your eyes. You see Ashiel making her way out of the shop.
A quick question for you, and I'm addressing the shopkeeper.
Yes. Well, what can I do for you?
What do these do?
Oh, the elemental gems? All manner of effects, actually. Is there one specifically you're interested in?
They're all shiny.
They certainly are. Well, you, as he looks at you, I assume you've gotten into a scuffle or two of some sort of combat.
Actually, just today.
Wonderful, then I suppose this is quite relevant. Is there anything that you would like to do in combat better, as it were, or perhaps something interesting?
I don't know. I suppose I always like to put on a bit of a show, if you know what I mean.
Ha! Then I think I know a good gem for you, as he takes a lightning gem out from behind the shelf. I'll tell you, the lightning gem seems to be quite popular among many of those performers. Really gives that shock and awe value, as it were. Not to mention, a lot of things regarding going wild. That's the kind of energy that lightning channels, with low lows and high highs, as it were.
Got that right. How much would you say it would run?
Well, I could probably do a deal on one of these for, well, let's say 50 gold.
Oh, okay. I'll have to keep that in mind. And would you be able to maybe put it into something like this? And it'll kind of pull the guitar off his back and lay it on the counter.
Oh, I see. Well, what is this?
I do all my work with this. It's I can play it. It holds together quite well if someone needs a good bash over the head.
Oh, understandably so.
And it's blocked quite a few hits, so it does me well.
Yes, indeed. Is this enchanted by chance?
It is, to an extent.
Solid stone?
Well, hollowed out for the resonance, but
Well, I certainly think that we could get at least something going with this. I can't promise you that we'd be able to get 3 in there, but I'm sure that we'd be able to get at least 1 or 2.
okay. And could you just walk me through how exactly that would happen? Like, what's the process to embed?
Yes, generally we carve out a piece of whatever weapon it is, and then we would insert the gem, align the array properly so that it actually would disperse on command, and then there you have it. You would have yourself a gem-equipped weapon.
Any special tools required?
Well, we have a few different ones here just for a little bit more precision, I suppose, but theoretically, I'm sure you'd be able to do it given enough time for the expertise, though I would highly recommend talking to my master if you're really wanting to get into the craft.
I'm interested. I have some familiarity with ordinary gems, but nothing of this nature.
Yes, these gems are quite special.
For reference, I have proficiency with jeweler's tools.
Ah, wonderful. Okay, well,
I
proficiency.
figured it was thematic coming from the Rockland.
Yeah, man, proficiency with jewelers tools. I mean,
and
honestly,
also knowing that these things existed.
honestly, given enough time, you'd probably be able to figure out how to properly augment all your own stuff.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alright. So, 50 gold, and is that with being installed?
Well, normally I don't do this, but tell you what. You seem like a wonderful person. I think I'd be willing to do the first install for free for you.
Okay, well, excellent. Well, as soon as I have 50 gold, I'll come right back here.
Not a problem. We're always open. At least we try to be.
Alright, well, thank you.
Not a problem.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and,
Oh.
He'll go ahead and head out. I also can't quite tell if I'm slipping in and out of Scottish or if I'm staying Irish, but
Don't worry, well, I'll put the recording out at some point, and then we'll be able to really see, and you can listen to yourself and be like, damn.
I never listen to myself. It's too depressing.
Alrighty, well, if you all are finished up in the gem shop, would anybody else like to do anything before we call it a night and begin the next day here?
Are there any other shops besides the gem shop?
Well, there is actually also the general store that's across the way from the bar.
Uh-huh.
Good for getting items like potions and whatnot.
Maybe. I guess Gilgamesh would send Denny the cupbearer. See if he finds anything. He just gives him a vague, here's 20 gold if you could find something useful. Because he's in the middle of deep negotiation.
All right. So Denny the cupbearer, you heads over to the general store here. As he walks in, Denny, you see as there's quite a few different items on the shelves. Anything from different sizes of health potions, looks to be basic shields, swords, etc. And what looks to be some sort of maybe ingredients. You're not sure if they're for potions or for a salad, but no, they look neat.
Yeah, Denny the cupbearer would not know this. He would not know any of that.
Definitely a salad.
Definitely salad. Well, he doesn't eat salad, so he wouldn't even know.
The strange green plant that they have on the shelf.
What are you eating plants out here, sir? I don't know. So you said that there would be potions.
Yes.
How much for the health potions, if there are any? Or what other type of potions would there be?
Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
No goodie. I guess it would, because I'm just gonna have to roll a regular D20.
Let's see if Donnie the cupbearer here.
Let's see. Come on, Denny, you got this.
All right, Denny, let's see it.
I thought he opened up his eye patch.
Dude.
He opened up the eye patch in a second. I was able to see shit.
As Denny, just in this moment, you know that the king is counting on you. So he looks around, and you get a good grasp of everything that's in here. You see what seems to be kind of the smaller greenish potion, which you're likely is assuming kind of this minor potion of healing. And then a medium-sized one, which seems to probably be just a regular old potion of healing. In addition to that, you also see 6 different colors of potion. One seeming to be red, one blue, one this kind of whitish tinge. One of them is a greenish color, one is yellow, and one is this almost blackish. Which you would assume are probably elemental resistance potions.
Oi, shopkeep. What's that one right there, the white one?
Ah, yes, this one is a potion of radiant resistance.
What's radiant?
Well, have you ever had what's a good analogy here? Have you ever been hit by something such as like a shining beam or a guiding bolt, something like that?
Well, I got hit by my cousin Jerry, and he kind of hurt. I think he used his hands, though. He didn't use no light, nothing like that. That's what the king's for. King uses light.
The shopkeeper blinks a couple times and puts his hand on his chin. Have you ever felt like the sun is so bright that it's hurting your eyes?
Oh yeah, that happens. That's what happened to my other eye. I actually lost it from staring at the sun too long.
All right. Well, this potion would essentially prevent you from losing the other eye.
Oh, that sounds so good. How much is that one?
Well, this potion would be around 20 gold.
There you go. Oh, whoa there. What? Wait a minute. Well, how much is that health potion then?
Which one do you want? Do you want the minor one or the regular one?
A small one.
The small one, yes, that'll be 5 gold.
He start. Can I get both of them? It was this much, just a handful of gold.
Go ahead and
It
roll
was
me a
20 gold.
persuasion check.
He has 0 benefits because I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be like commoners where they have no benefit at all.
Okay.
All right, it's just a straight. Thank God. Danny!
Are you kidding me?
Danny out here being a fucking lad.
You're doomed.
As he
Yeah.
looks towards Denny, he just goes, well,
The king sent me out on an errand tonight. This is all he gave me. But he told me to get stuff, so I'm getting him stuff.
he looks towards you and looks towards the money and looks towards the minor potion of healing and the potion of radiance resistance and just shrugs. What's 5 gold? As he takes both the potions off the shelf. Here you are. And takes the 20 gold from you.
Oh, thank you, sir. I love getting good deals from my king. Thank you, sir.
Of course, quite good deals. As he waves. You take care now. If any more of the king's gold is given to you, please feel free to come on back.
Oh, all right. Maybe king wants more, but I'll need to ask his permission first, sir.
Not a problem.
All right, sir. Good day, sir. And he starts running back.
As Danny
Carrying
just
both of the potions.
runs across carrying both these potions.
Sir, I got you got you 2 of these and no more gold, sir. All right. Well, you did good. And he gives him a little head pat to Denny. So I have a minor healing potion. And a radiant potion, or radiant resistance potion, right?
Yes, potion of radiance resistance.
Potion of radiance resistance. Cool. And what do they do?
Well, the potion of radiance resistance, when you ingest it, you gain resistance to radiance for 1 hour. Or
Okay.
radiant damage.
Cool.
And then the potion of minor healing will heal you the equivalent of 1d4 plus 2. A minor healing.
And then minor healing potion is basically like a 1d4.
Yep, 1d4 plus 2.
1d4 plus 2
Yep.
healing. And I presume both of those would be action in order to cast, or no?
No, so if you're taking it, like if you're trying to take it mid-combat, it would actually be a bonus action if you're giving it to yourself.
Okay, cool. And then an action
An action if you're giving it to someone else. Like if you're making them ingest it.
Perfect.
So. As opposed to having them like take it and then use their bonus action to ingest it.
Yeah. Perfect.
So all right. Does anyone have anything else here before we go ahead and go to sleep?
Not that I know, but
Well, all right. In that case, it's 25. In that case, you all go ahead and take this time to take a load off, get a chance to rest, and just not really worry too much about anything that happened today. Well, except the mech attack. And as you all delve into sleep here, you all manage to sleep through the night. And in the morning, luckily feel good. Nothing too particularly interesting on your dreams at the current moment. So, as you all awaken, you all, of course, restore all your hit points and all your spell slots and anything else that you get on a long rest, as you are ready to tackle another day here. At the current moment, now you know I'm a big fan of dreams. My big fan.
I know, and that's terrifying.
What?
Oh, I guess I didn't do it as much in campaign 4. Yeah, I'm a big fan of ominous dreams.
I think that happened once or twice.
Yeah, it happened for ours. At least twice.
I was like, please, not on day 0.
Day 0, ominous dream, everyone. Roll psychic damage.
We are now in paths.
Oh god. It's too late. But yes, as you all restore all of your different numbers here.
Hooray.
You all are greeted by Tutori as you come down the stairway here. Good to see you all. Are you ready to head out?
I suppose so.
Ready as I'll ever be.
Of course.
Do you have a written message that we're supposed to deliver besides our first-hand account?
Yes, of course. As he digs out of his pocket, looks to be this shining stone. Here, bring this to them. The head of the council will know what to do.
Ashil kind of looks at it, just kind of shrugs and tucks it into one of her pockets.
Trust me, Xavier and I go back quite a bit, so if he doesn't believe it, then, well, I suppose all goodwill is lost.
That's not ominous.
Yeah.
Question. Are we going to... Can we gain an audience with this council by just showing up?
Oh, yeah, I suppose that would also be important. 1 second. As he goes over to the barkeep.
Well, I would hope that they would be able to accept a foreign dignitary, a king at no less, but, well, maybe they don't appreciate the work that I've done.
As he seems to take and fiddle with this real quick and comes back to you. Here, as he hands you over a scroll. That's a handwritten note by myself. That should be able to get you in there.
Thank you.
Wonderful, thank you very much.
Yes, that's a good reminder. That would have been a little more awkward, but I assure you the stone speaks for itself. Though I suppose perhaps they're a little more on edge thanks to a lot of recent things, etc., etc. But no matter. If you all really do end up needing some help, then, else can I supply you with? Well, take one of these, as he hands you a smaller stone.
Ferris will reach out a hand.
Excellent. Have you heard of Ascending Stone before?
That sounds like something I would have heard of before. Considering that it's a stone.
Yeah, you probably would have heard of one of these. So yeah, Ferris, considering your background, I'll give it to you.
Rock magic.
Yeah, so you're aware that you were told of stones that were indeed able to basically be able to hear between one another. You were able to actually speak into one and hear on the other end.
The Earth Genasi raised fields of them.
Oh, it also was an interesting affair for you trying to figure out how to utilize it for your music to amplify the sound across distances.
Yes!
So vaguely familiar.
So, if you have a small one over, by you, and then a very large, oversized sending stone, does that make, make the sound louder when it comes out the other side.
It seemed rather inconclusive, but you feel like it did.
Oh, Sending Stones, yeah. I'm familiar.
Excellent. Then I suppose it needs no explanation. If you need any help, as he takes out a second stone that looks just like it, I've always got one right here. So, hopefully I'll be able to answer it if you need it. But, well, if for some reason I don't, I'm sure that it will be all right.
Sure. That's cheerful to think about.
That would all be well and good. I don't worry too much about it. Trust me, enjoying the journey is the best part of all of this.
I agree.
Sure.
Oh, my liege, I'm sure that you'll find plenty of joy here on this little trip.
Well, I don't believe an attempt on my life from yesterday was not quite enjoyable, but you know.
Oh, come now, it was an attempt on
Really?
everybody's lives.
That doesn't make it any better. That is not how optimism works.
Sure it is. I enjoyed the attempt on your life.
Yeah. At first, everybody says the same thing. Oh, yes, it's so funny, but, well, it's kind of boring after a couple of times on my life.
What the hell?
Uh,
Okay. There we go. Sorry, my sound was not working this whole time.
Oh. Oops, alright.
Well, you all will notice that Womri Darb is not down there with all of you.
Oh my. Gilgamesh had not
noticed,
noticed.
Just peacefully quiet.
Interesting. Sounds. I can hear outside ambience instead of droning. It's quite odd. I wonder if someone's missing.
Wombry is a free spirit. He does what he pleases. Not that unheard of for those of his kind.
Oh, free spirits. No. Every horse has its breaking point, you know the old saying.
You strike me as more of an expensive spirit.
I assure you, I take it you've never met a Fae then. If they have a breaking point, you'll die long before you find it.
Maybe, but it's always worth the attempt.
Especially if you're middle-aged at 30.
If you would like to attempt to break a Fae's desire to play tricks, be my guest. It'll be a futile attempt.
Well, I mean, there's always a way. I mean, they said that the goblinoids cannot be subjugated, and yet here we are. And they said that they couldn't be civilized, given a proper society. But, well, if I'm anything to prove, then, well, our good little goblins here are quite the exhibit now, aren't they? And he points to Harold, Roxanne, and not to Denny.
Oh no!
How do they look being patronized like that?
I give them all. Why do you put up with this guy?
Harold definitely just is like always sighing like, okay, yeah, whatever. Roxanne doesn't take that shit. She's off doing her own thing. And Denny, well, he's Denny, so I don't know what much he knows.
Pats, I have a new assignment for you.
Yeah.
I need you to unionize the goblins.
I don't know how I feel about them unions, but they might deserve it. Don't worry, I'll whip him into shape.
Wait a minute, wouldn't it be the exact opposite if you were... Wait a minute.
Don't think about it too hard, bud.
I don't think you did either.
So as you all get ready to go, a little bit of back and forth banter here. You are handed your provisions in addition to all of these supplies from before, and you each have enough food and water and whatnot to last you each 3 days.
Oh, amazing. Perfect.
Denny, carry this.
Actually, it would be Harold who carries everything, but that's not my position to correct you. Roxanne's actually the stronger one, but Harold has just been a good caretaker of mine since I was a young widow lad.
A good hair taker.
Sure. Harold the Harrier.
All right, so with that, you all make your way out here, and you take a look from the promenade here, gazing out to the eastern area, and you see looks to be this beautiful alabaster gate out in the distance.
Talk about pearly gates.
As you all continue your approach here, you make it here to the edge of the gate, and you all see as a couple of guards step up to the side. Good morning to you. What reason do
Did
you
we
have
already
to...
travel the 3 days too? Or
So what?
where is this gate precisely? You
It's
said the eastern portion.
over to
but
the
are you
east of the
talking about
promenade, yeah. So you don't have an
Okay.
exact map for it, but it's over to the eastern
Okay.
side. If you look in the middle, like this symbol here, that's
Yeah.
more or less the outlay of Converga.
Okay, so we've already traveled to the edge of the light zone.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
So Ferris will stroll right up with the scroll, or will request the scroll, and because I believe a shield took it.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Basically, you see something pops out of a shield's pocket, and it scurries with the skull, with the scroll over to the guards, and
with the skull.
Oh.
Will sit at the foot of the guards and kind of like raise the scroll up.
Special delivery for you.
Thank you. As he reaches down and picks up the scroll, unfurls it.
We've got a bit of a assignment, if you will. We have to get through and get an audience with the council. That scroll there is supposed to help us get through.
Let's see. And so it does. You all are envoys of Mr. Tutore, then?
That we are.
Wonderful. Well, then we can certainly let you pass in through here. Let me just do a quick check here, as him and the other guard just kind of sweep through, taking a look at each of you.
Gilgamesh slightly walks behind his goblins.
Let's see.
Ferris,
It's a massive
ever
height
so slightly
difference.
starts to catwalk.
All right. All of you seem to be in fairly good order. As he looks towards the shield, young lady, are you all right? Did I ask what happened?
Like, but I'm fine, thank you.
All right. Nothing dangerous that any of you are carrying on your person, right?
Just my charm and personality.
Is that a question? Is that a serious question, though? I mean, magic does exist here, right? I mean, everybody's a potential weapon at that point.
Oh, of course, of course. I'm just making sure that nobody is, well, we've had minor troubles in the past, and, just trying to catch and nip them in the bud. But I assure you, if you try anything in here that may be, detrimental to the Light Zone or Converg as a whole, it won't end well for you.
He raises his eyebrow and he's like, wouldn't somebody who wants to do bad just lie?
Well, of course.
Okay, but no, I don't have anything bad.
See? That's kind of
Neither do I. When Patches has his biggest cheesy smile, like I'm a
He
good
just
boy.
has a gun just sticking out of his fucking
No. The gun is in the bag of holding. I just have my bag of holding on my side. There's nothing strange in it.
Of course,
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Well,
I
the
assure...
swords are ornamental.
Ah. Of course. Well, not to worry. It's there's no problem with weapons and whatnot, as long as, again, it's not something that's excruciatingly, well, like you're bringing an entire army's worth of them.
No, not this time. And he gives like a little chuckle.
The white guard just looks at you deadpan. Yes, right.
These Light Zone folk never had any humor.
As they...
Well, at least you have that in common.
He looks deadpan at you. Well, I guess
smile.
three's a company now, isn't it, Feros?
Well, I mean, if they
you
find
think
any,
it's fair?
I'm sure
I
you'll
mean,
get rid of it.
it's alright if I say so myself, but thank you for the compliment.
Alright, and as the guards go back to their front here, seems to be in good order. As I said, please try not to cause too much trouble in the Light Zone, and, well, we wish you well on your journey here to the Light Zone Council. As they admit
Any,
you passed. Oh,
Any tips for, first comers, things to avoid, things that would pass off someone who looks like you?
Well, generally, as long as you're not becoming an enemy of the people, as long as you're not trying to destroy the environment.
Okay, but what is an enemy of the people? Though?
Well,
Yeah, sometimes bad jokes make you the enemy of the people.
Yeah, what do you mean,
In
you
that case,
people?
I better stay behind.
No. We mean the people within the Light Zone. I assure you, as long as you're not murdering, trying to kidnap, or any sort of malicious matter and the like, I'm sure that all will be well. And if it's not, I assure you that the council will promptly deal with it.
That council, sure.
They've been taking a more active role as of recently. It's actually quite refreshing.
Unfortunately.
Now, I assure you, sir, that this is actually quite a good thing.
For some, especially those Light Zone denizens, sure, but, well.
Indeed. Well, I hope that you all enjoy your time here, and really, other than trying to avoid making enemies, I would say, well, utmost respect, of course, is always appreciated to the council. You'll more than likely get more of your words in that way.
Of course. And one last question.
Yes.
Best place to eat along the way?
Oh, that's a good one. As he looks to the other guard, and they kind of tap their chins. Well, I would have to say, if you make your way out to Lensokria, not many people usually step outside the capital city if they're that far into Dejintoku. But if you do, highly recommend the Shining Spread. I happen to think that their buffet is divine, in many senses.
The Shining Spread.
Okay,
I'll keep that in mind.
I've heard of it, yeah.
Yes, indeed. And let me think. Anything in the capital that I would have to
Pat's
recommend?
is pondering this idea.
He's never heard of such a concept. You mean a table that everybody just comes and grabs food on? You only pay one fee? Interesting.
And I would say, other than that, there's a few different lovely cafes that are found in the capital city of Nejintoku. So, if,
Oh, I've heard of the Light Zone cafes. I've heard they're quite divine and delicate.
indeed. So if you make your way out there, I assure you that the teas that they have out there are quite purifying to the body and soul.
Yes, I've had a few imports.
Well, how wonderful. Then you should know exactly how good they are. Nothing quite like a brew from home, though. As they both kind of look to each other. Oh, I actually ought to get some more myself at some point. Huh. Maybe once we're off work, we can go ahead and make our way back there.
We'll be sure to bring some back for you when we come right round.
Right round. So, to the shoinen spread.
Well, I believe it might be more appropriate to at least introduce ourselves, since we are impeding upon their operations. We might as well give them the courtesy of doing it earlier rather than later.
Doing what?
Going to speak with the council.
Oh, I assume the shine and spread was on the. It's on the way to the council.
Oh, it is. Well, the guy speaks up.
Yeah. And how many days? Yeah, oh, this accent's going everywhere.
I know that feeling. Oh no, where Gilgamesh has been.
How many days is it to get to the council?
Well, probably if you're traveling at a decent clip and utilizing the Eternal Lightway once you get to Linsokria, probably about a week.
So, to the shoinen spread.
Indeed, that's only a couple days' journey out there. Well, yeah.
I like the way you think. The true purpose of this expedition.
Food.
All
We
right.
shall dine.
Let's see what these uppity mucks have for cuisine in the Light Zone.
Food brings everyone together.
Of course.
All right. So as you all make your way through the gates, you immediately feel as just the intense light from within this area. You not only have the sun now, but you look out upon you on this shining kind of whitish blue-green grass, and you see as a path sprawls before you, it seems to be cut down a little more, and you have now entered into the Light Zone proper.
Woo. We've done it. We've solved the Light Zone puzzle.
Indeed.
Ooh, I love the new maps.
Oh yes, I've.
Fidelity.
Wait, so is all the grass like this cyan blue?
That's right.
Damn.
Oh, I like that. It's nice.
Ferris just looks around at, like, everything is blue. And then he looks down at what he's wearing, and it's all earth tones and, like, russet brown. He just goes, shite.
I feel that they just are a bit of show off here, if you ask me. They could really do with some other colors, if I do say so.
Yeah, but you have to be careful which ones you pick, because some of them will clash.
Yes, quite.
I'll fix it in the morning. Let's go.
Just a little dye work. It shouldn't be too bad. I
Or,
know a person who
I
can
just-
help with that.
And there you can have the map here too, in case you need it.
Amazing. Pin.
Alrighty. So actually, what do I have in my pens right? Oh yeah, I probably should do that.
As we're walking, you'll hear a kind of a quiet voice. Well, this looks quite beautiful. I love the grass's colors. And you'll see the voice coming from Eshel's pocket. A little bright for napping. And you'll see a very tiny head poked out of a pocket.
Oh, is that rat able to talk too? I could see that it was able to fetch, but didn't know it could talk.
No, that was Mick. That's Winbury. Wombury.
Oh, it was the Fae folk. Oh, I see. Well,
He's
Yeah.
lazy and has to be carried sometimes.
I feel to need to be carried from time to time, but unfortunately these three are not able to do that, or at the very least, they don't want to. Which is fine. Gilgamesh kind of looks up a little.
You'll just like flutter out of the pocket and go up and then land on her shoulder. Yes, well, that's why I assume a more practical form to be carried. And I get a nice view up here. Although,
Yeah.
I think you were as tall as I was yesterday. A normal view from up here. Abnormal view. Normal view of yesterday.
I see. I just wouldn't want to put in the effort. Why should I be the one that has to change if I have plenty of servants round me to help invoke the change that I'd like to see?
That's because if he was his full size, I would have dumped his ass on the ground and kept going.
That's quite rude.
Maybe. Sounds like you need better servants there, Wanbury.
I'm not his servant.
And the eyes flash a little bit like Shield has not really been like angry or really any emotion, but there's just a hint of anger there, and the eyes flash a kind of deep red.
Oh, alright. Nobody can take a joke these days.
Well, perhaps when you make one, you should let us know.
Yeah, yes. Oh, well, if a joke hit you over the head, I wouldn't tell you either.
Was that the attempt as well? I'm sorry. I feel like maybe we should get you a cue card. And one appears in your hand that says, I'm making a joke on it.
I didn't know you can write either. Quite unusual you are. Not only can it talk, it can write.
I reach out, take the cue card out of his hand, and hold it up by his head.
Ah, yes. Thank you. Now we all know when to laugh politely.
Precisely. I'm glad that you understand the courtesy. Even if you couldn't understand anything else.
I hold the cue card up again.
He doesn't really notice nor mind. He still has that air of dipshit superiority. Not actual superiority, but just dipshit.
Seeing that he doesn't notice at all, Ferris is just going to be skipping down the road behind him, holding the cue card, just waiting for him to talk again.
So yes, as you all continue down this path, just taking a look at this very shiny grass. You can I stop pinging, please? There we go. You manage to make your way a few miles down the road, just bantering back and forth with a lot of interesting things until I need you all to roll me another perception check.
Oh boy.
Oh, I haven't rolled above 10 today.
Rip.
Hey.
Sag.
Alrighty. Oh, and then I gotta roll. Actually, she should be back. Hold on.
I had to regain the over half my HP I lost.
Oh, okay, I gotta roll for it. Okay. So I think I'm missing one. Oh no, I'm not, because Kita's not here either. Oh. There we go. That's a pretty good one. Alrighty. So all of you look out and you actually manage to see a small creature off in the distance in the field. Seems to be possibly sleeping. But as you look out, you see wait 1 second. I don't have this pulled up. You see one of these. A small white elemental.
Does it look edible?
Spreads.
Does it look edible?
Yes. Pat's is pondering this thing for its culinary value, first and foremost.
Go ahead and roll me. Oh gosh, what would this be? Roll me an intelligence check at advantage.
Me some mert. Intelligence check?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean,
Damn.
you haven't like tried to eat light before, but you know, I mean, always worth trying at least once, right?
He's not gonna do anything to this one, but if the opportunity presents itself in the future, he will do what must be done.
Ooh, that's cool. Ooh, we should make it shinier. And I'm going to try to cast Fairy Fire on it.
All right.
Try to make it pretty.
Fairy Fire ever save?
Yes. Yes, it does.
Yeah, what does that spell read?
Where is it? Yeah.
It does also look oddly like well actually, so Ashiel and Callisto, you kind of get to look further, and honestly, Ashiel, this kind of reminds you of Faye in a lot of ways. Got the little wings.
What color is it?
What color is it?
Yes.
Like the centerpiece?
The elemental.
Oh, the elemental, like the little wings are light blue. The center is more or less light. It's like whitish, glowy.
Okay. I'll give it kind of like a violet. I'll try to give it a violet colored aurora around it with Fairy Fire.
Okay, well, let's see if it fails the next save.
And I would like to, if any way, convey that I'm not being malicious with my magic. I am just having fun. If the elemental is able to pick up on that at all.
As you see, as this kind of seeming to be sleeping elemental begins to stir and move a little bit, but didn't seem to be particularly threatened by it, as it now glows this kind of strange purplish color outside of its bright, shiny light. It's kind of hard to see, but you can definitely tell it had a little effect.
Ooh. Yes, that looks lovely. I love all the colors.
It's very cute.
Perhaps we should make a painting. Is anyone here ever able to paint?
I don't know if
I think that is a no.
I'm not proficient with that tool set today.
The note that you've been holding disappears, and a small painting of the elemental appears in his hand. Ah, yes, quite lovely.
In Ferris's hand or in Wombri's hand?
Wombry.
Okay.
So it's a little tiny. He's going to try to hang it from
Ferris looks mildly disappointed that the cue card is gone, but he hasn't used it in a while anyway. Then he'll pop over and take a look, and you're like, "Ah, yeah, the likeness is uncanny."
Thank you. I do try my best.
And then he'll lean out towards the light elemental, and in Primordial, say, "You look beautiful there, love."
You know, go ahead and roll me a charisma check.
Okay. So let me check an ability real quick here. Yep. Whenever you make a charisma check, so add +3 to this.
All right.
Yes.
You can tell that if the light elemental could blush, it definitely would be right now.
But it blends in with the violet fairy fire.
It does. You almost see it seem to flash to red for but a moment, but not the fairy fire. The light itself seems to almost blush to a pink temporarily. As yes, you feel that you have greatly charmed this this minor light elemental.
And I'll smile and wink and keep walking along the road.
You know you speak the language of the elements.
I've spent a good deal of time traveling along with them, so I learned to speak the language, I learned to track them. Some of them are a bit less friendly than that one.
It is not a very common language from where I'm from. I'm not actually quite familiar with it. Perhaps you could teach me sometime, as being able to talk to such a lovely creature seems quite interesting.
Oh, it is. It is.
All right. And as you all continue on, you get to see a few more of these small light elementals. It's rather lovely. Nashiel, you notice on the edge that you see some other elementals out in the distance. You actually see, as there seems to be one of these, some kind of green swirly one, as well as what looks to be some kind of icy looking one.
Also, I'm very sorry for this whole time. I just now realized that for some reason I had noise suppression turned off.
Oh.
If you've been hearing me chewing and breathing, that's why.
Oh.
I think you've been fine. I haven't really noticed.
Cool.
I only noticed at like the very beginning when everything was quiet. I'm like, oh, well, someone's enjoying themselves some chips. That was...
yeah, that was me.
Well, that no, it has not been disruptive by any means. But yeah, Shiel, you see multiple different kinds of elementals. The latter ones seem a little out of place, but you know, you haven't really seen this land before, so
Just kind of take note of it, like, huh. I kind of sort of like seems a little strange. I thought this was the light zone, but what do I know?
And as you all continue on your way here, seeing more of the elemental creatures here, this would be about the place where you'd stop for the first night. So if any of y'all have something special before you go to camp here, then let me know, because otherwise we'll go ahead and move it to day 2 of your venture through the plains here.
Ferris will just kind of sit down on a rock and start strumming the guitar and playing a fearful but calm tune while everyone else sets up camp.
All right. So as Ferris plays, go ahead and roll me a performance check.
Alrighty.
Alrighty. Consistent right now in the rules. So yeah, you all hear as Ferris strums out a nice tune, and it's actually quite lovely for all of you all. Begin to set up camp. Get ready to go to sleep. You all notice that as you lay down and look up at the sky, everything around you is glowing. It's actually a rather fascinating sight, really. It's interesting to see the light on the borders of your vision, but then look up into the dark night sky. Or at least darkish. It seems to at least still have a somewhat brightness to it.
A
Gilgamesh.
shield. Oh, go ahead.
No, Shield, you go first.
Oh yeah, no, a shield is noticing that there's too much light. She's mostly covered anyways, so all she does is pull her mask up like an inch higher and her hood down an inch lower, and then everything's blacked out.
You already know Gilgamesh sleeping with a sleep mask. They put up like a small pavilion, like a very regal like tent. It's even got like a nicer cot.
All right. Is anyone else wanting to take any sort of extra measures against the light, or are you just sleeping with essentially this eternal nightlight below you?
Hats just has a blanket and he will soon be dreaming. He's gonna just be looking at the sky. You can tune it down.
All right, and Pats, as you look, oh, go ahead.
Oh no, sorry. Go ahead.
And Pats, you look at the sky. I mean, this is absolutely beautiful. I mean, you saw plenty of interesting night skies on your time in the sea as well, but this is interesting. It seems like the stars and whatnot are extra sparkly.
So Ferris, being an elf, doesn't actually have to sleep, so he's just going to kind of lean back, hands behind his head, stare at the sky, and go into a trance.
All right, and Ferris, same deal. Even in all your travels, the light zone seems to have quite the appeal to it. Just it's something that you really just don't find anywhere else. For the rest of y'all trying to curl up, Callisto curls up into a ball and blocks out some of the light and tries to sleep. And as you all sleep here, you begin to drift off, all y'all having different various dreams. But Ashiel, your dream is a bit odd.
Fuck, I knew I'd be first.
As you drift off and you seem to hear just in the distance voices. Not really sure if it's anything specific, but just very distant. And as you continue to dream, you feel as you can suddenly see something out in the distance. Seeming to be some kind of... You're not sure if it's a thread? Something out in your vision. But you see at one end of this thread, there seems to be some kind of, well, an opening of sorts. Something seems to be a bit shiny and seems to be the source of that thread. And on the other end, you see what looks to be just another opening, but as opposed to the more purplish color of the original, it has this eerie blackness to it. It seems to be consuming that thread. And then around this and around you, you see sparkles seeming to just begin to shine all about you. And I need you to go ahead and roll me a... I'm gonna have you roll an investigation check on this one.
Okay.
All right. And as you look on this thread eternally being generated and consumed, you see as the sparkles around this seem to be having some kind of effect. As you see as the thread begins to get pulled a little bit. Seems to be, not sure, but perhaps bent just a bit and broken, reformed. And you see as the hole that seems to be devouring it seems to almost be pushed back or perhaps temporarily stopped. And you hear in the back of your mind, the power calls. As you hear this, the sparkles fade away in addition to the strange thread that you saw before you. And for the rest of the night, there doesn't seem to be anything else that bothers you as much as that.
Okay.
And as you all wake up from your sleep here, you all can go ahead and restore anything that you might have utilized during the previous day and continue onward here.
I would note that after his transfers would have altered his appearance to be more in vogue with the landscape around.
Oh, really? What appearance are you going for on this one?
So he would be in slightly more formal clothing, a long form-fitting coat, black and silver, maybe a hint of blue. His hair has gone from the wavy auburn to a straight black with lowlights of silver, that as he turns his head and the hair swings around, it kind of almost looks like moonlight streaming through a forest canopy. And there's all the clothes are very kind of, they've got long vertical lines to them, like a deep cut vest, long flowing sleeves, long flowing tails on the coat, as he has shifted into winter season.
Alright, so yeah, as you all awaken to quite a different Ferris here.
Looking good.
Much better,
Paz
isn't it?
gives you a thumbs up.
Yeah. I told you I'd fix it in the morning.
Fix it, you did.
Alright. As you all continue to journey onward here. Is there anything anyone's working on for the day, or are you mostly just taking in the sights here of the light zone?
I'm going to do some shenanigans with my magic, but I will have to think about exactly what. But I will make sure to keep track of the day
Excellent.
that
Alright.
Sheila's particularly quiet. She seems, not that she talks a lot, but she seems a little more lost in thought than she has been the past couple days.
I mean, I think Gilgamesh would just be doing his regular thing. You know, speaking with Harold about random things, making a quip or two. Nothing in particular.
Alrighty. So as you all continue, a few of you, actually, I'll go ahead and have folks roll perception again here, as you gaze upon some other sights, journey along.
With them peepers. More peeping.
More peeping.
More peeping.
We'll have
While rolling perception.
Pat's roll when he gets back. My goodness. Really made up for that one, I guess.
No.
Well,
Badge.
you know what? I'll take it. I'll take not being able to see anything for being able to succeed charisma checks.
I guess so. Acing the check you're good with. All right. All missing is Pat's and Wandering.
Oh, did I miss a perception?
You're on perception? Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I just got a thing that Major Lockston has officially become Lieutenant Colonel.
Yes, I saw that.
Oh, dang, nice.
They're pretty sweet stuff. All right, so as you all continue on, seeing more of these elementals, once again, Ashiel and Callisto just gaze a little bit in the distance and actually gaze upon another interesting entity. A bigger guy. As you look and around this light elemental, there's looks like 6 to 8 minor light elementals are just kind of fluttering around it, as if it's just kind of a protective pillar.
The entities here are very beautiful to look at. It's like a light show.
I don't trust anything that's pretty. It probably has teeth that hurt.
Oh, it's probably quite deadly. That's what makes it prettier.
Well, I mean, it's certainly one of the elementals.
And Callisto gazes out, and Callisto, you actually look all the way out into the field, and what seems to be in your vision some sort of big cat.
I don't like that. I don't like that one bit.
As it seems to almost peek over to you, you actually gaze a couple chains that seem to be kind of drifting over its shoulders.
Oh, now I feel bad.
For what?
Because there's chains on it.
The funny thing is, they seem to be loose, as if they're connected to it, but they're not connected back to anything.
I don't like that at all.
And Pats, you also see the big light elemental.
Does this look more or less edible than the other one?
Oh, this one is bigger. It's got more of these light blue pieces to it. Maybe it's crunchier?
Everything's edible if you try hard enough.
Including lightning gems.
Exactly.
That seems a little spicy.
Oh, it was. All right. And as you all make your way to the end of the second day here, is there anything you all want to do before bed? It looks like you've got about 1 day left to make it to the city as you begin to see, like, faintly in the distance, brighter light than all of the light around you. So you'll probably make it there by about midday tomorrow. All right. Hearing none, we'll go ahead. Have you all take your rest here, same as the first.
Oh boy, setting up the fancy tent with the goblins getting okay tents. They're not bad tents, but like It's not the same. Different material, different doodads and doohickeys hanging on the outside.
Indeed.
An emblem.
And as you all go to sleep here, you all feel this rather peaceful respite. And all your minds stir just a bit. You all have a rather restful evening. And as you wake up, you once again are able to restore anything on a long rest in case you used it yesterday. And you're ready to make your way to Lensokria.
Now, is this where the shining spread is? That's what I've been looking forward to this whole time.
Yes, actually.
Hell yeah.
So as you all get up and get in the bus and move, Pat's kind of leading the charge. Very excited to go try this place out. You all begin to make your way inward here. And as you approach the city, you all see as it almost rises from the ground before you, this shining pillar almost. As you gaze upon the city surrounded by a small wall, you see behind it this large, looks to be path-like structure that seems to be built out. As it seems to almost move strangely to some upward areas in the distance behind it, though you can't quite see where yet. But as you all make it up to the gate here, you are once again greeted by a couple guards. So, as they look upon you, welcome to Lensokria! Is it your first time here?
No.
Yes.
Oh.
For most of us, I believe it is our first time.
Yeah, how do we get to the
do
shining
have-
spread?
Yes, of course, of course. Well, for you first-timers, I would like to go ahead and say a very hearty welcome here. And for returning guests, I'm glad to see that you found your way back here and enjoyed it so much, hopefully. Now,
Yeah.
you are looking for the shining spread. Excellent. We will direct you there in just a moment. But first off, just to lay down some ground rules here, just so you are aware, all things within this city are, of course, under the jurisdiction of the Lightstone Council, but Lensokria is actually a somewhat special interest of a couple of our council members. So, if you cause troubles within them, it'll likely be them that will be dealing with your punishment. So, the first of those, of course, being Miss Orithia. She is, she's a representative of the common people, which of course means that all these common people here, she has a vested interest in. The second, of course, being the head of the council, Xavier Lux. I definitely would not want to mess with him. He's quite the fighting force, so if you plan on causing trouble and it's with a blade, you better be ready to cross swords there. And the third significant...
Feeble mind works much better against him than a blade. Hurt feeble mind works much better against him than a blade.
You know, I fixed that in the further iteration. And then the third one that you're going to want to make sure that you do not get on the bad side of is, of course, a representative to actually the more recently integrated Draconic population. So, Frakraf Prisma is Crystal Dragonborn, who resides on the council. And between those three, as he kind of points to the symbols there on the wall, seeming to consist of a staff with this shining emblem behind it, a large blade that seems to have kind of a light wrapped around it, and it looks to be some kind of crystal with a shining light dragon around it. These are the indicators of these 3 members of the council. See these kind of emblems, it means that it's under their direct jurisdiction. Which also means
All right.
any complaints of these facilities, if you so have them, can of course be directed to them.
And I imagine any complaints about us get directed to them as well.
Well, almost certainly. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. You definitely don't want to be a nuisance here, but I assure you that as long as you're doing your best to follow things, I'm sure that everything will be fine.
We keep hearing that.
Well, you see, we have to keep reiterating it. We've gotten quite a bit of a tourist population. Well, going from non-existent to existent is quite the change in that whole ordeal. You see, the light zone used to be much more under lock and key, as it were, and, well, ever since the peacetime accords of 100 years ago, we've been able to open things back up significantly more so, to allow for people to come and visit things and check out dining establishments, as you have said before, the Shining Spread, as well as seeing the Eternal Lightway, the different cities, of course, none more glorious than the capital of Nejuntoku.
All right.
So with that, oh, go ahead.
No, I.
Huh.
Shine and spread then.
Yes, yes, I won't bore you with any more semantics. Although I've heard there might be a bit of an issue in town towards there, so if you do see that, do your best to avoid it, please.
Issue?
Yeah.
If it was that big of an issue, wouldn't you guys be in there?
Well, you see, some issues are a bit above purview, as in it's not very easy for the gods to be able to do much about it. So we continue to maintain the border of here, while generally a council member will be sent down here. After all, they have access to this place through the Gleaming Apex's network with the Eternal Lightway.
Is there a bit of rabble? Is there a little discontent in the light zone? Oh, tell me something new.
You clearly don't much understand the place, but, well, yes, it does sometimes happen. We get a couple, well, unruly folk, as it were, and they must be dealt with.
Admirable, but the fact that it happened in the first place is little embarrassing, isn't it?
Well, the trade-off for freedom over security, I suppose.
Gilgamesh doesn't say anything.
All right. Well, off you go then. Please, like I said, try to avoid the trouble. But other than that, please enjoy your dining experience and continued travels. You'll make your way here into Lansokria. So is there anything you all are looking for before the restaurant, or y'all pretty much heading straight there first?
That's his
I-
man on a mission.
Guess Gilgamesh would probably... Yeah, I guess he'll just follow the group. There's no real other incentive outside of just trying to look around.
Oh yeah, no, I'm most saying, yeah, keeping an eye out for anything as you go there.
Mm-hmm. I mean... I guess if there's any, like, fashion shops. Like any fine fashion.
Oh, indeed.
The finest of fineries.
Go ahead, Gilgamesh, and roll me. Oh, be good. I guess we'll make it fancy. Roll perception with advantage. I feel like you'd be able to sniff out a fancy place when you see it.
Oh, trust me, the coat has come from the light zone. I know what I'm looking for. Well, shit. I mean, they've changed the street layout this time around.
You're not a very wise character.
No, not at all. Smart, not wise.
It's like Costco. Every time you go in, everything's rearranged.
Oh, rats. Oh, they got rid of the fine threads boutique here. Damn.
Indeed, as you look around, you're not really sure where some of this stuff is, but I'm sure it's something you can deal with after a lovely meal here as it approaches.
Nah, my memory isn't what it used to be.
Indeed. And as you all make your way towards the restaurant here, you do notice as there does seem to be some manner of issue going on.
Real quick,
What's up?
just on the way into town, Ashil would be looking at the people and like just kind of taking it in. Like, what kind of different people do you see here?
Oh, excellent. Go ahead and roll me investigation. Try to discern out some people here.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, you were able to see quite a few different kinds of folk around here. So you actually managed to peek upon what looks to be several humans, obviously, but also seem to be some elves. And you also notice, not in as much abundance, but you do see a couple dragonborn, as well as what looks to be some other various, you're not really sure what they are. It's looks like an elf, but maybe a little more different, more woodland in variety. And then you actually see a couple folks that seem to be shining with this gleaming light in their own right. You gaze upon a couple white genasi.
Okay, so there's a good spread here.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Ashil's particularly interested in the Ganazi because those weren't around. She hasn't, like, when she was last here, and so she finds them particularly interesting, especially given the conversation about how they're made, and it was left undetermined.
Still thinking to yourself, how does it work? All right, so yeah, Sheila, as you people watch here, looking around, you actually look at an interesting individual that seems to be currently involved in the issue that you're seeing before you. As there seems to be quite a few thugs that have arranged themselves outside of the restaurant.
What kind of thugs? Do they have a mean scar over their eye?
Go ahead and roll me an insight check.
They got skull and crossbones on their arm, bandana on top of them.
They
Say
have thug
"R."
written in their cheek.
God damn it.
Oddly enough, you're not really able to tell much about them because quite a few of them seem to have these odd-looking robes on.
Colleen has a sinking suspicion. Ashil's like, interesting fashion choice.
And as this individual you see before you speaks to them. So, I heard you enjoy causing trouble in these areas. Of course, we're, well, trying to clean things up around here, as you on the council seem to be akin not to do. And what makes you say that? What manner of cleanup did you say that we haven't performed here? Well, these people, of course. As he seems to actually usher towards the Light Genasi. Do these not seem just a bit unusual? Unnatural? Not particularly. Well, we could do you a favor, rid you of them. For the reason... Oh, like I said, unnatural. I would think the people born into this world should be born of one entity, right? These are strange abominations. Elemental energy fused with humanity. Just so strange. As the person before you, you just look. He tilts his head. You do notice the oddity about him is he has silver hair that seems to go all the way down past his hips. Really? Well, this isn't my normal jurisdiction. But I suppose that I'll have to deal with you then. As you see, as he takes off his outer jacket, and you see as his arms are just coated with these tattoos. I'll make you regret bringing that kind of hatred into the Light Zone. As you'll now face Miragon of the Light Council. I hope you're prepared for your last words. And that's where we're going to go ahead and end our session for today.
No, it's Miragon again. Oh, woe is us.